Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we will take a look at a popular telephoto lens for micro four thirds cameras, the OM System 40 to 150mm f4 Pro. Enjoy! The 40 to 150mm f4 came out in 2022, so it is a relatively new lens. It was one of the first lenses released under the OM System branding, and is a smaller, cheaper alternative to the beloved 40 to 150mm f2.8 Pro. The lens has a full-frame equivalent focal length of 80 to 300mm, so it's telephoto all the way. Ideal for sports or, to some extent, wildlife photography. The build quality, as the lens's Pro badge would suggest, is really good. It is primarily made from aluminium and features a weather-sealing gasket. The zoom and focus rings are both made from metal, and the zoom mechanism is partially internal. The lens collapses for easier transportation and needs to be extended to 40mm before you can use it. However, it does not extend any further as you zoom in and out. There are no buttons or switches on the lens, like those found on other Pro lenses. The lens has a 62mm filter thread and comes with a plastic lens hood. The hood is rattling a little bit as you move the lens, which can be a bit annoying, but overall it's serviceable. The lens feels very nice to handle, and when considering its focal range, it's actually quite small. Unfortunately, compromises have to be made somewhere. In this particular case, it's the lens's maximum aperture of f4, making it significantly slower than its f2.8 counterpart. Picture quality is great in the center at f4. Stopping down a little bit can make a marginal difference in the corners, but most of the time I keep the lens at its widest aperture setting. Usually when I need a telephoto lens, I'm outdoors, so the f4 aperture in practice was never an issue for me. But if you, for example, shoot indoor sports or concerts, the larger f2.8 variant would be much more suited for the task. All in all, I'm very happy with all the pictures I made with the lens, and I get a lot of use out of it. I wouldn't call it a wildlife lens per se. A 400mm or 600mm equivalent would be a more specialized option, but for, say, casual shooting of birds in your local park or a trip to the zoo, this lens is more than sufficient. Another sector where the lens excels is minimum focus distance. Close-up picture quality is excellent, giving you great renditions of flowers or larger insects. This lens does unfortunately not feature optical image stabilization, so a camera with IBIS is highly recommended. If you have a newer Olympus or OM System camera, that shouldn't be an issue. All of them have IBIS at this point, but if you're shooting with an older Olympus pen camera or an older Panasonic camera, this is something to look out for. If you want soft and strong background separation, the lens offers some decent bokeh at 100 to 150mm, like in the example shown here. If that's not enough and you really need to obliterate your background, you might want to look at a telephoto prime lens instead. I have used this lens for a couple of months now, and I genuinely appreciate its small size, making it a great match for a smaller camera body such as the OM5. The autofocus is as fast as your camera allows, and the autofocus motors work very quietly. The lens is also decent for video, provided you have a camera with IBIS, as it displays very little focus breathing. In summary, the OM System 40 to 150mm f4 Pro is a marvelous lens and a great alternative to its bulkier cousin, provided that its maximum aperture is sufficient for you. But that's it on my part. If you have any questions or simply want to share your opinion, please leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, have a wonderful day.